It seemed unnecessary for the book. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Riley K. Jones. I'm a writer, teacher, and author tuber, and today we are going to be talking about my May book reads. So for the month of May, I read one book, started a second book though, but I did read one book. Hopefully over the summer starting, and hopefully to get that book per month count a bit higher now that I have summer to relax a little bit and not be overwhelmed by school as much. So that's my goal for June. But for May, I read They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman. So I'm going to try to keep this pretty spoiler free since this is a thriller, and it's a young adult thriller. And the premise of the book is there is this group of friends. They're part of this player system, sort of like the elite of the elite in this prep school. And they, however, they've rigged the system, and it's a thing, kind of like society that's been going on for generations at this school. And one of the players, when their freshman year, actually was murdered, and they thought they had arrested the murderer, but then now on their senior year, this person says that they were not the murderer. And it's not so much thriller-esque as what I was hoping for. The main protagonist, her name is Jill. She's more of a, what's the word? Like, doesn't want to be involved. She's not trying to be a sleuth. The word is a reluctant sleuth. She doesn't really want to be involved, but she then ends up being kind of involved. She just happens to figure some things out with the help of another person. That wasn't what I would be like, oh yes, this is the book I want to read. So I didn't enjoy it that much for that reason. But I did think the story was very well done. The mystery was very tight-knit, and she really developed the characters very well. Now, I did call the person who was the murderer. I did call that pretty early on, but it was still done in a very satisfying way that I still enjoyed that. Another side note, I have read some books where I've called it pretty early on and it was not satisfyingly done. So kudos for Goodman in this instance, because I was very satisfied throughout the whole process and finding out who the murderer was, even though I knew it pretty early on. Something else I really enjoyed was in the way that Goodman really developed those friendships. They all felt real, they all felt authentic, they all felt necessary. And including the relationship with her younger brother, I thought that was a very well done thing. I find, at least for myself in writing, and a lot of books that I have read in the past, they typically will give the main character just be an only child, and then like only child syndrome is everywhere. And it's like, oh, why is that the case? Because it's easier to write just having only child. I know my main character is an only child, not because of that syndrome, but it ended up being that way, but I did have a reason. Anyway, she really developed the brother and the sister relationship really well. I thought that was really nice. Then some of the things I thought that was interesting, and I think that was done well, was she had a lot of flashbacks to really develop character development, as well as learning about this person who was her friend had been murdered. I think that she did that well. One of the reasons why I chose this was twofold. One, I'm writing a dark academia book. That's my second project. And then my first project, that was Project Lost, is also a YA thriller. So I was kind of reading this for research purposes. And some things that I really picked up on, the way that the investigation felt very organic. So I'm going to try to make sure mine is also organic. Something else that I really picked up on was the way that she used the past to infiltrate her present through this friend being killed, and her relationship with that friend, I felt it was very well done. So that is something that I'm trying to learn from. Again, the mystery was very tight-knit, and there was enough clues left behind that everything made sense in the end. So those are some really cool things if you like dark academia, and if you like secret societies, and if you like a little bit of mystery involved. This book is a really good book for that. Now, I do have a few problems with this book, probably not very popular opinions about this book. So if I don't agree with you, we don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree. There was quite a lot of language in this book, and normally I can give that a slide. Like, language doesn't really bother me too much, but if you are a parent out there and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a book for my child, I would not get this for anybody who is younger than 9th grade. It's more of a 9th grade reading up level for that purpose. The second thing I really did not like was there was a sex scene in the book, and I just felt like it had no purpose for the mystery or even the subplot. Like, it seemed unnecessary for the book. And it was pretty explicit. Like, it would be more of a smut scene. Like, it was too much in my opinion. I don't mind when you have teenagers talking about sex or talking about like their first time and like things like that, or even like having like a fade to black moment. But I just don't think it was necessary for this book, and this might be contrary to popular opinion. Some people were like, no, it needs to be in there because teens have sex anyway, or whatever. I just did not find it tasteful and needing to be in there. So if Jessica Goodman, if you ever see this review, I'm sorry, I just didn't like it. But I mean, you wrote a good book, so you did. I really did like the book. That was just my biggest thing that I did not like. And if you have read the book and know what I'm talking about, if you want to tell me like what your thoughts on that was, maybe to convince me that it's supposed to be in there, or maybe you're with me, let me know in the comments below like what your thoughts were on that scene. Just because I'm struggling to understand why it needs to be in there, and I only read it through once, so maybe I missed something. But I just felt like it just didn't need to be in there because it didn't really aid the main plot, the mystery. It didn't really aid the subplot, and also I just felt like this is too, I can't read this. Like, I felt like I was reading it in a public place, and I felt like, ooh, this is too steamy for a public place. So that's another thing that I did not like. So those two things I didn't really like. So parents, if you're like, oh, I don't really like it, my child that book, because of those two things, that's my only thing that I'm like, ooh, yeah. Everything else, but yes. So if you do, I mean, like, out of 5 stars, I would give this book probably a 4 because of that. Like, not 5 because of that one scene, but a 4. Like, I thought it was really well done, that the characters were well done. I see why there's a lot of hype behind the book, and I did enjoy the book from start to finish. The story was really well threaded and well done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up. It helps me know and the algorithm know that you like videos like this one. And if you haven't already, click subscribe. I release new videos on all things writing and reading every Thursday. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Keep writing, keep reading, and stay creative. Bye!